Welcome to the Bushido Gang. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's Attack on Samurai, bringing you all another drawing video. So as I'm recording this, it is Labor Day. So yeah, free day off or whatnot. Anyways, I decided to do a drawing video today. I know that I've been kind of behind with again with recordings and whatnot, so I do apologize with that. Um, trying to make a schedule work to where I can still like make my uploads and be able to do them in like a timely fashion and whatnot. So I apologize again for the delays on uploads and whatnot. Um, I know I said I was gonna do a showdown live. And I still plan on doing that. It's actually been on my mind for the last couple days now. Um, just trying to decide on what to actually record. Because I know that for Pokemon Showdown, I know that the what's it called? I know that the DLC is gonna be coming out soon for Teal'd Mask, and I kind of want to wait for the game. I kind of want to wait for the DLC to drop first before I actually get back into recording again. At least for OU anyway. Which is kind of another reason why I held off on doing the Suian Samurai videos. Because again, I had planned on again using a Suian Samurai in a couple videos and just showcasing and whatnot. But again, with the DLC coming out soon, and also with OLT just finishing and whatnot, ladder's kind of like, it's not like it's dead or anything like that. It's just that well, pretty much it's just that I'm waiting for the DLC. Once the DLC drops, then I'll get back into it, or then I'll get back into recording for OU. Um, but I also have had an interest in playing old and not old gens, my bad, and playing the lower tiers again. So because with the recent tier shift that happened, a lot of old mons or a lot of the mons that were in RU for a couple months and whatnot have dropped down into NU now. So the NU metagame is looking very different. A whole lot of fighting types that are down there right now. So I do want to get back and I do want to play that metagame. And again, just see what it's like, because it does remind me a lot of what meta was it? Was it Gen 7 that had all the fighting types? Or was it Gen... It might have been Gen 7 that had all the fighting types. I'm pretty sure it was Gen 7. Because Gen 7 had a lot of fighters then. It's probably Gen 7. It might have been Gen 7. Anyways, the meta is looking very similar to Gen 7 NU. And also somewhat similar to Gen 8 NU in this sense. So I do want to play the meta. Gen 8 NU actually had a lot more fighters. Actually, not fighters. They had a lot more dark types and whatnot. A lot of dark types and a lot of poison types as well in that metagame. So a little bit different, but you get what I mean. I do want to get back into playing the meta, so I will play it soon. But yeah, and also, a bunch of fan favorites are back as well, like Samurai and Delphox as well. Decidueye is also back as well. So again, I do want to play the metagame. So I think I want to focus on doing the I do want to record again like a live in the lower tier soon. So yeah, that's gonna be the plan at the moment. Again, I do apologize. I am still gonna play at OU, of course. But right now I'm thinking about the lower tiers at the moment until DLC drops. So yeah. Anyways, this drawing I'm doing right now is actually a drawing of my main character, Miss Intern. So I actually have her like in kind of a pose to where she's about to punch somebody. So yeah. That's what I'm drawing right now. So I'm just doing like a good little, like a nice little sketch of it first, and then I'll end up redrawing it again, but on but with a darker pen. So yeah. Anyways, how are y'all doing? Hope you guys are doing well. I'm doing alright, besides me working, of course. It's I'm not gonna lie, I'll give you a little insight into life. It's kind of difficult working 3 part-time jobs. I mean, it's not like it's unheard of, right? Like, people do this on a daily basis, but I don't know, it's a little weird for me right now. Um, Again, I'm working at two retail places. Well, actually, one. I'm working at one retail place. Then I'm working at a live theater, a live like like theater, and then I'm also working as a freelance writer for a newspaper here in my town, or here in DC. So, I got a lot that I'm doing at the moment, but I also feel like I'm not doing enough. So I don't know, um, but that's just kind of how things are going at the moment. So so yeah, so that's kind of why I've been, I guess, like struggling a little bit, just to kind of like find a footing right now. Um, Currently, I published like three articles for the newspaper that I work for. So I guess it's still something, right? It's still something to be proud of. But at the same time, while I'm working there, I have no idea what the fuck is going on. Like I genuinely don't know what's going on there. Besides, me just just like doing pieces and getting paid for it, which I haven't got paid yet, but because they only do it by it's like a quarterly thing or something like that. Basically not quarterly, but like it's like every 2 weeks I would get paid. And again, I've only just started this job this summer, so I only started it back in late June. Um, so I mean, I'm not gonna know everything yet, right? I don't really understand things at the moment still, even though I've been there for about 3 months, or for now going on 3 months. Um, but I really don't know what's going on still. So I'm just making pieces and just going with the flow of things at the moment. Um, but yeah. Just recently I finished writing like three different papers and none of them got published yet. So I guess this is just the life of a freelance writer. You make pieces and no one reads them. Um, but yeah. So again, I'm just kind of struggling with that right now. So just trying to like find my footing at the moment. Um, it still doesn't feel like it, but it's only been like 3 years since I graduated from college, and I still don't know what the fuck I'm doing. um, so so yeah, there's that right now. Um, I'm trying to figure out like that that spot right now. Also, sorry about the lag again. It's just the way this thing is. It's just the way this thing is. Also, I hope the music isn't too loud in the background. It probably shouldn't be. You guys probably don't hear it as much. I can hear it obviously because I have my headphones on and everything like that. So, but I'm just playing, like some Donkey Kong Country music in the background. Um, so, so yeah. It's the SNES version of Donkey Kong Country, which I never played actually. Like speaking of Donkey Kong, the only game that I actually played for that was the one on the 64. um, my brother and I played it a lot, back in the day. But I mean, he played it more, and I just watched him play it. But yeah, we used to have it, like the actual like cartridge and everything. But I think we lost it somehow. I don't remember how, but again, I was like a kid then. I was like what, 5, 6, 7 then, when we had the game. But but yeah, we also used to have Pokemon Stadium 2. But then oh, I remember now. Oh, I remember now. Um I think when I was a kid, we had a cousin over in Virginia. Um, and I didn't really know that cousin that well. Then like we just like it was me and the fam. We just went there to go visit some of the rest of the family from Virginia, and I remember that there were some cousins that were there, and they were playing Super Smash Brothers on the 64. So I remember talking to one of my cousins there, and they had some cartridges left, or they had some cartridges, and I ended up trading. I think, did I trade? I don't remember. I don't remember exactly, but um, again, I do remember getting one of the cartridges from them. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it was. It was Pokemon Stadium because they had it. They already had Stadium, but we had my brother and I. We had Stadium too. In the house. I probably did get it then. But like the only games we have right now, or that we have still on the 64, or at least I have still, because I still have the console, is let's see, it's Donkey Kong Country, or not Donkey Kong, not Donkey Kong. Oh my bad. It's it's Diddy Kong Racing. I still have that. That game is fire. that game was that game really was something, man. But yeah, Diddy Kong Racing, Mario Kart Racing, uh, Pokemon Stadium, and Super Mario 64. So that's all that's still on the 64. But man, I have not played that thing in years. I haven't played it in years. But yeah, those are the games that we had still. Um, but yeah. But again, I do remember having 64, like Donkey Kong Country or Donkey Kong 64. Um, yeah, like that. Yeah, that game was fun though. I don't remember playing it too much, but again, just seeing my brother play it. But yeah. I do hope that I mean, I think it already has been ported onto the Switch. I think it has been, yeah, but I think it was one of the recent Donkey Kong Country games. Um the one that came out on the Wii, and then it got ported over. No, on the Wii U, then it got ported over. It was probably I think it was Tropical Breeze, or was the return to Donkey Kong Country. Either one, but I would not mind playing any of those games. Just kind of like relive that moment. um, but yeah, I mean, if I want to be even more accurate, I'd probably say the closest I ever got to playing like a Donkey Kong Country game was playing Smash Bros. Brawl and playing Space Emissary. That's the closest I'd say. I'm not proud of that though. but um, but yeah, that game really was fun, man. Um, but yeah. So speaking of Nintendo, I still have to get Tears of the Kingdom. Like I haven't gotten it yet because I'm trying to save up money. That's like the ideal moment right now. I'm trying to save up money before I actually try and get the game, because I'm trying to save up for eventually moving out the house. Um But obviously, that's easier said than done, because there's a lot more things that have to go into moving out of your parents' house before you actually like make the move. And I'm still trying to figure out those steps. Um, but I do eventually want to move out. I want to eventually have my own space and be able to do my own thing. Um, but obviously, I'm not there yet. Mostly because, again, like I said, I don't have the knowledge yet to know how to move out. Um, quite yet. And understand like the living spaces and rent and all that shit that comes with the price of moving out the house. Um, but I do want to move out though. Like I love my parents, love my mom, love my dad, but I gotta go. I gotta go. It's about that time. It's about that time. But again, obviously it's easier said than done. Um, but yeah. So yeah, eventually, if I have enough left over, then I would like to buy Tears of the Kingdom, because again, I really have been meaning to get it for a while. Um, but yeah, gotta let my thing catch up. No, honestly, it feels like it's been a long time since I've actually talked like this openly, I guess, with you guys, or anyone who's even watching me, which is probably like one person, one or maybe two people. But but yeah. So if you guys have are watching, um, or like make it to like the end of the video or something, just say something like "I made it" or something like that. I don't know. Um, or just say I like the drawing video if you make it to the end of this. I'd appreciate that. But but yeah. So this recent assignment I had to do for my for the newspaper job I'm working right now. I have to do a study on black businesses. So I have to talk about, I guess, like the metrics that go behind it, and talk about like how they rank in the stock market. And I'll be honest, I don't know anything about that shit. I don't. I'm just researching it now, like while I'm doing this paper. But I really don't. I'll be honest, I don't care. I don't care about this shit. Oh, like I'd rather when I write, I'd rather write about things I care about. Like I'd rather write about the community and just write about like just stuff that's going on, really. But also stuff that deals with like literature, or or that deals with literature or like art. Even music too, even music. But when it comes to like, under like doing data studies and metrics and shit like that, I don't give a fuck. I don't. But it's I'm assigned this project, so or I'm assigned this paper, so I have to do it, or this article, so I have to do it. But but yeah, I feel like I'm actually like, what's the word? I'm venting right now. uh, like here's the thing about this job I'm doing right now, right? It's not a bad job. Like I don't dislike it. I don't dislike it. It's just that I'm very confused right now. Like I feel kind of like I'm just thrown out, like like I'm just thrown out in the damn sea, and they're just like, okay, it's time to swim now, and I'm just like barely above water right now. That's what this feels like. Um, but again, it's only been 3 months, so I'll probably get used to it with time. But this shit is very like uncomfortable to me right now. Um, so but yeah, that's just the way how things are right now with me. Nothing else really going on. So speaking of my main character, Miss Intern, I did mention in the past when it came to this character in the comic that I'm working on for her, that I do have like like a plan for what I want to do, and I do have a plan, but it hasn't come into like full on fruition yet. Like I can confidently say that I have 3 written chapters for this story. However, I still haven't drawn out things yet. Um, Unlike another story that I'm working on, which is actually a very short comic, that's on track and field. I can actually show you some clips real quick, or actually not clips. My bad. This isn't a video. I can just show you like a quick I guess like sketch I did, not sketch, but like an actual like panel that I worked on. So this is a panel for the comic. For the name of the track and field comic is called Boom versus Sting. So, this character is the character with the dreads. His name is Sting, and the character with the short hair. Actually, it's meant to be Waves. Um, but the Waves, his name is Boom. So they're both, racing each other in a 100-meter event, in a 100-meter sprint. So that's what I'm actually showcasing here with this panel. So yeah, basically showcasing like each of their times as well in their different shots. So Sting is running at 6 seconds, or 6.03 seconds, and then Boom is going at 6 flat. So eventually I want to have them like go somewhere around like 9 point, somewhere around like the high nines, like the high point for the high 9 seconds. So like 9.50, 9.60, somewhere around that range at the end of this short comic. But yeah, I have 10 pages. Well, at the time I'm doing this video now, I've drawn 9 pages. This is actually the ninth one right here. Um, this is the ninth one right here, so it shows their time still going up as well. So now this time, Sting is leading while Boom is like trailing behind by just like um 3 hundredths of a second. Um, but yeah, I have a third one. I have the 10th one right here. Technically, this is the 10th one. This is meant to be the 10th page, and then this is gonna be the 11th one. Then I have like 2 more pages that I've already drawn out, like on a sketch and everything that I'm gonna end up like putting up once I'm done with these two. But but yeah. So again, I've drawn 10 different panels, or 10 different pages. So yeah, it's been fun though. It's been fun. So I've drawn 10 pages, but within those panels, I probably said that I've drawn about, I think almost, I think a little over 20 panels. Um which isn't a lot for a short comic, but it's still something. Again, this is going to be my first comic. Like my first like official one that I do want to post. So again, if you guys like it, you can let me know in the comments. I'd appreciate like some kind of like, I don't know, like anything. It could even be bad criticism. You could say this was like shit, and I'll just be like, okay. uh, but uh, but yeah, I appreciate like any kind of comment on my story. Um, Anyways, I'm going back to drawing Miss Intern. So again, going back to her story, um, I don't. I mean, again, I know what I want to do with it, right? I know what I want to do with the story. My bad. I know what I want to do with the story. Um, but when it comes to like the main premise of it, I'm still kind of like figuring that out right now. Like really, really, again, like I have characters drawn, right? I have characters drawn and everything for this comic, um, this anime inspired comic. But again, there's still some steps I have to take. Um, but yeah. So today, I was actually going on a little bit of a trip down memory lane. And I was going through. I was actually rewatching some old clips from one of my favorite animes. Like this is when pretty much I started watching back when it was on Netflix. Like when Netflix was first starting out. So like I want to say really 2012, 2013. I started watching this anime called Kenichi the Mightiest Disciple, and that was one of my first like real moments of getting into anime outside of like Dragon Ball, Pokemon, Naruto, all that shit. Um, but Kenichi the Mightiest Disciple is really like the point that got me into watching anime. Um, and it's still one of my favorite animes to this day. And it pretty much comes down to a lot of things. It comes down to like the whole story of it, but also like the art as well for it, and just a whole lot of other factors that went into the story. But it really was such a fun anime. Um, and honestly, I'm debating on using some of the stuff, like some of the elements from Kenichi the Mightiest Disciple and applying it into my own work. Because again, like it definitely is one of my top 10 favorite animes. Um, but yeah, I definitely want to try and apply some of those techniques from there and then apply it into here as well. I know that when I'm working on my track comic, um, again, not Boom and Sting. And this is just this is meant to be kind of a prototype for my main track comic, Aussie Strider. When I'm working on that one, I already have like some ideas, or I already have like some inspirations. Like Slam Dunk, and this other comic or this other manga, that I was reviewing at one point, which was Run on Your New Legs by Wataru Midori. So, speaking of that, I really would like to do more manga reactions again because I actually did enjoy that. Even though it was very like short lived, but I actually really did enjoy doing that. Um, so I don't know if you guys would like me to do live manga reactions again. I would be down. I'd be down for that. Honestly, I would love to get back into doing reactions for Run on Your New Legs because I'm pretty sure that the chapters, or not chapters, but the volumes have already been released in the U.S. So I could still pick it back up if you guys are willing to bear with me on it. Um, or bear with me with getting back into it. But if not, I mean, it is what it is. Like I'm okay with that as well. Ugh, excuse me, my bad. Y'all didn't need to hear that. Ugh. uh, but yeah. So with my other job, again, I'm working at a retail place right now. That's up in DC. It's actually a running shoe store. So with this store that I'm working at, again, it's now been a full year since I started working there, which is crazy to me because I never realized how fast this year went. But yeah, it's been a full year since I started working at the shoe store. Um, Again, it's really crazy that a full year's went by, but it really does go by that fast. Now that I'm starting to realize it. Now, unfortunately, the store is more than likely going to be closing next year, so I have to find another job. Um, and right now, I'm doing some searching at the moment, trying to find something else to get into. I make it sound like it's a bad thing. I gotta find something else to get into, but yeah, I do have to find another job, so I'm on the search right now for that. Um, I know a while back I did get an offer for a teaching job, teaching art, and I'll be honest with that, especially when it comes to graphic design, because that's actually what I was planning on teaching. It was actually something I was supposed to be doing this summer, but because of some complications that happened this summer, not really complications, but just like other things popped up, I wasn't able to teach this summer. So I didn't get the experience I would have liked to have, and or the money, but but definitely the experience is more important than the money. Um, the money's a good factor though. Don't get me wrong. You know, money is important. Um, but never make it like your main priority. I'll give you that. But oh my bad. I didn't mean to do that. But yeah, don't ever make money your main priority. It's not. It really isn't like that. It's not all about that. But but yeah. I have no idea how long I've been recording. It's probably been about like 30 minutes maybe. Let me check OBS real quick. It's been okay. It's been 30 minutes now. Or it's about to be 30 minutes. Do 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 do. I think it's kind of moving slow because I have other stuff in the background too. What I'm gonna do is just get rid of this at the moment. I'll come back to these things later. But I don't really need these up at the moment. But yeah, I don't going back to the Boom versus Sting comic. I don't know where I'd actually post these up. Um, because I mean, I'm not really using. There's no like real dialogue. It's just both of them. It's just a motion kind of comic. So all the panels are just going by like like just going from left to right, or actually right to left. Um, and just pretty much like again like no real like speeches or anything like that. So it's just all action really. I don't know if like something like webtoons would take my work or even like or anything like that. But again, once it's done, um, I'll definitely it'll find some spot. Uh, it'll find some kind of place. But but yeah. Oh, shit. I need to get new headphones. I've had these headphones now since I want to say since college. Um and like they're kind of like I'm not gonna say they're messed up or anything like that. But I know like one. It's not like it's broken or anything. It's just that I need something more comfortable. these these are kind of like done. I think. I guess we'll like hear every. I guess we'll hear and everything, and whatnot with it. But just in terms of like it being comfortable for me, I don't know. It might be time to get rid of these guys. Uh, they've uh they've made their last sound. uh, but yeah. So I've been catching up on some reading, which is something I recommend. Definitely recommend reading. Reading is a pretty good thing to do. Um, um, not like it's something that is like expected. I mean, it should be expected, but um, anyways, I got back into not back into reading. I mean to say, but I started reading this book called Snow and Falling Cedars, or Falling Cedars in the Snow. It's See, you already know if I can't even say the name of the damn of the damn book, then you probably think I'm just like bullshit. Hold on, let me find the name of it. Can I? It's it's okay. So it's Snow Falling in Cedars. That's the name of the actual book. I looked it up because earlier in the day, I was actually looking at a review of the book, because it's actually been pretty good. I'm almost done with it. I got like less than 100 pages left to finish in it, and it was. I definitely think it's something that relates to me right now. I don't want to. I really don't want to go into detail about it, but detail about why it means so much to me. But just I can just talk about the plot of the book. So, the book is about. Actually, the book takes place in 1950s in 1950s like upper California, in like one of the islands that are up there, called San Pietro. So it's like a small ship. It's like a small like fishing town, um and the population is like I want to say probably like 40 to probably like 40% white, maybe something around that range, like 40 to 50% white, and then the rest of the population is about like 30 it's about like 30% Asian. So um the main plot of the book talk is about a is basically a murder trial. So one of the main characters, his name is Kubo Miyamoto. He's put on trial for the murder of one of the residents of San Pietro, who's also a fisherman. His name is Carl Hein, and both of them actually had a friendship when they were growing up together. And again, this is like in the late 30s, early 40s. So when they were kids, they were like best friends and everything. His family lived on Carl Hines' like parents um I lived on their field. So they had their own house and everything, and they were making their own profit as well, while working with the Heinz. So, eventually, again, this is 1940s. So World War I and World War II actually World War II is on the rise. So, um, so there's some tension that actually starts developing around that time that happens over in San Pietro. So basically, around the time of the war, some tension happened with the Asian population and the white population, and eventually it came to a point to where the white people that lived there, or just the residents in general that lived there, started hating or started to have some disagreements with the Japanese. Well, actually, they were Japanese with the Japanese population there. So, um, so eventually, it kind of leads towards Kubo being kind of a victim of the of kind of like the discrimination that's happening within San Pietro. So eventually, he's kind of like caught for being being the um now I can't I gotta make sure I'm saying the right word, but basically he's kind of framed for being the killer of killing Carl Hein. But again, at this point in the story, again, like I said, I'm almost done with it, but it's gonna be coming to a conclusion soon about who actually did it. But the way how things are actually turning out, especially with what I've read so far, it seems like it might have just been an accident that happened, and Carl Hein just kind of like fell overboard off the boat because they were actually on a boat when it happened, on a fishing boat. Like both of them were. So yeah. But again, they aren't the main. Well, they're the main focus. Again, Carl Hein and Kubo Miyamoto. But there's also like another subplot that happens in the story as well. That talks about like another group of kids that grew up, and they actually formed a relationship together. It was this Japanese girl named Hatsu, and then this brown kid named Ishmael. So um, Ishmael, Ishmael and Hatsue. Uh, Again, they both grew up like in San Pietro. They grew up like going to like the beach that was around the area, or that was in the area, and also like exploring like the forest that was around there too. And pretty much they just have like this kind of like child like relation, like this kind of like friendship, but then it became more over time. Um, Eventually leading towards like both of them having like romantic feelings for each other. Um, and just like Kubo, well actually just like Kubo and Carl, Ishmael also went to war. So he also went to World War II, and eventually the relationship that Hatsue and Ishmael had before the war happened, it's basically like kind of just dead because of the tension that happened. So because of that, they had to just end the relationship. Um, and eventually this led to Ishmael becoming more, I guess, kind of having like this empty feeling inside him, like after the war too, but not just like yeah, like after the war, to where he kind of felt again like empty after like having to fight the Japanese soldiers, and also just like feeling empty about just the people, just like a lot of the Japanese like people that lived in San Pietro. He kind of had this like distance that um he was kind of making for himself, and yeah, again, I don't want to go too much deeper into the book, but again, it is a good book. I definitely didn't think it'd be that good, but it definitely surprised me. I'll say that. And again, I kind of relate to it right now as well. Um, just on more like a personal level, I'd say. When it comes to just how Ishmael feels about like kind of being lost right now. But yeah, if you guys haven't read it, I'd probably recommend it. Um, Honestly, it seems like a book that you probably have to read for college anyway. Uh, like having to make like a paper on it and whatnot. Um, but yeah, it honestly wasn't that bad. Now I know there's another book I need to be reading too. I have to get back into reading Journeys to the West, and I also got to get back into I also have to get into reading what's it called, reading this book by Toni Morrison, Paradise. I have to read that. I just started it the other day. I started it like last week, but I haven't really gone that far in it yet. Um, like I literally just started it. So I got like got some parts I gotta like get into reading, but yeah. But definitely Journeys to the West. I have to finish that. I have to finish that book. Um, it's a long ass book though. Like it's almost like the same length as the Bible. Like that's how long the book is. um, but yeah. Yeah, I really do want to get back into reading it because I really do think that that book is sick, man. Because I mean, it pretty much is the inspiration for a lot of like a lot of manga. Again, Dragon Ball is a good example of it because it basically kind of like the Monkey King, Sun Wukong. What's Goku's name? Like, Son Goku. So basically the same thing. In that sense, monkey tail, monkey, like it all. Some like I said Sun King, Wukong, Sun Wukong. Like bro, it's all there. It's all there. It's even more prevalent in something like God of High School, because I mean it's basically the same telling with what's his name? I forgot his name. I think it was Jen. Pretty sure it was Jen. No, was it Jen? I don't ever. I can't even remember. Um, or maybe it started with an M. I'm pretty sure it started with an M. But you guys know what I'm talking about. God of High School. That anime was cool, but it just sucks that they had to cut down a lot of stuff from the main material, which does make me want to read the manga myself for that. So definitely want to see how that played out. Um, 'Cause apparently a lot of stuff got cut out from the manga, and being put into the anime. So, um, but yeah, I definitely got to read it at some point. Yeah, again, going back to A Journey to the West though. Um, Again, like from the last time I left off from reading it, I believe I've just finished a portion about Sun Wukong being in the heavens and meeting the Jade Emperor. So he met the Jade Emperor after beating the Sea Dragon God. So he beat the Sea Dragon God and also got his staff. So that's really where I left off. After that, I don't remember. But that's like the main stuff I remember. So I definitely got to get back into that because again, that story is sick. Honestly, like when you actually like get through it and also get through all like the jargon that goes on with the languaging or with the language. It's a pretty cool story. It's like some Wukong, like again, it makes sense why a lot of like manga, like other like literature are inspired by the story. It's because that shit is sick as fuck. um, I gotta stop saying fuck so much. My bad. I gotta stop saying it. But yeah. So I definitely want to keep this video too long, so I'm probably gonna end up stopping soon. But if you guys did enjoy me talking and just enjoyed, me drawing and whatnot, please make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe as well. And again, just follow me on. I'm actually not on Twitter, whatever this shit's called now. It's not called Twitter anymore. It's called X. I'm not on that. I don't have an account. I had to make a new account because my old account got suspended. So if I want to be on X, I got to make a new account, and I'm not gonna lie, I really don't want to make a new account. So, um, I'm on Reddit more. I'm on Reddit more often, and I'm gonna be getting back on IG soon. So I'll be more active on those sources. But also, again, like you can feel free to subscribe as well, and just join my Discord as well. Again, all my links will be down in the description if you guys are interested in wanting to talk more and just get to know me more and whatnot. Um, and uh, and yeah, so that's gonna be it for now. And this is gonna be my main character, Miss Intern. Again, I don't have a name for her yet. It's just Miss Intern. That's really what it is at the moment. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed the vid. If you guys did, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And again, check out all my social media links. They'll be down in the description. It's gonna be that. Be safe, wash your hands, and peace out.